Hey guys, Coffee here. Today I wanted to talk to you about a underutilized source of income, and that is stronghold crafting. We all know that we've all heard that we should just be crafting arrayas, and there isn't really much to think about in regards to the stronghold. But if you are crafting the proper things in your stronghold every day, you can be making 3,000 gold plus every single day without really having to do anything and spending, maybe 5 minutes a day to cycle your crafts. So the first thing we want to do when we are going to be utilizing stronghold crafting is, of course, under the lab, ensure that we are always pushing anything that is either lower action energy consumption or lower cost for our crafts. Both of these are just going to be saving us gold. The cost reduction is going to be saving us gold right up front, and that's just going to be immediate profit right in our pockets. The other thing to keep in mind is you either want to be using a spreadsheet or a source like Pocket Arc to determine what you should be crafting at any particular crafting cycle or at any particular day, because things do shift depending on different market factors that is going on, whether how many people are crafting certain things, whether a consumable is in high demand because of some content that is in the game. Atropines tend to shoot up in price every time there is new hell mode content because they're being heavily utilized there. Same goes for elemental HP potions anytime there's new hard content where people are being forced to use purple pots instead of blues. Same goes for things like swiftness robes. These were much lower before, and they started to go up with cockwool because they're more necessary or more needed because of things like running by the saws and such like that. So first things first, you'll notice here in this last column is going to be profit here, and you want to, the splendid items I don't believe really have enough volume to justify trying to craft these full time. So I personally avoid these and I look for other things that are going to be purchased a little bit more heavily, or that I know will sell within a few minutes of me posting them. Things like HP potions, swiftness robes, flares, etc. These are going to be used by everyone. So the amount of them that is selling on a daily basis is going to be much higher than some of the more obscure battle items. So the number itself, as you see here, atropines are saying they're showing 55 gold profit per craft. It's important to keep in mind that you are wanting to also keep in mind how long it actually takes to craft these individual items. So while swiftness robes take or only will give you 41 gold profit, atropines are going to give you 55 gold profit. But if you actually look over here, the atropines themselves are going to take 51 minutes to craft, and something like the swiftness robes, wherever they are, let me find them, are only going to take 25 minutes to craft. So that's showing you that for every time you would be crafting atropines once, you're able to craft swiftness robes twice as often. So the actual profit for swiftness robes, while it is showing lower on this, if you're actually able to be on and around in order to flip your crafts more often, you will be making more profit off of crafting swiftness robes than you would be crafting atropines. Same goes in regards to this for things that take even longer. Arrayas, they take about 38 minutes instead, so they drop somewhere in between atropines and swiftness robes. But when it comes to crafting arrayas, even though the profit on them will typically be a little high, looks like simple arrayas are at 63, and where are the other arrayas at? They might even be a little lower right now. Basic arrayas are not profitable whatsoever. It's your only profit is coming from these is only going to be on great success chance crafts, which even with having 10% great success chance, they do not appear to be proccing at that rate. So either something is bugged in regards to them, or there is something else going on with the crafts. So in regards to maximizing your revenue for these, again, before you are starting every cycle of crafts, you want to ensure that you are checking the prices to see what is most profitable at that time, and then crafting whatever you have access to. For me, I like to craft things that are on the 25-minute cycle because I can check back in to refresh my crafts more often than maybe some other people that can maybe start some crafts before they go to work, finish some crafts when they get back. The crafts that are taking 50 minutes are going to take roughly 8 hours or so in order to fully craft, and the ones that are on a 25 minute cycle, you can craft these every 4 hours. It's going to be like 240 minutes to do your 10 crafts for those. So again, what you want to be doing is determining what you want to craft. In my case, I'm going to craft some HP potions this time. Do keep in mind that depending on what you're crafting, these prices may shift up or down, depending on at what point in the week it is. Things that are heavily used for raiding are more likely to go down in price towards the end of the week after people have finished their raids, and they go back up again at the beginning of the week when everyone is starting to buy up their consumables in order to do all their raids for the week. So again, as you were seeing the profit that we were seeing ahead of time, the way that you're maximizing your money out of this is just to ensure that you are, again, cycling your crafts multiple times per day. Whether that means you can cycle them 3 times, 4 times a day. It really, it'll only take you 5 minutes or so. So if you do happen to have time throughout the day where you can pop in, log in, cycle your crafts, and then log back off and get back to work or whatever you may be doing, it's a good way to generate quite a bit of income. We'll see here from these 102 swiftness robes when we can go ahead and sell these here on this server. It looks like that's going to be 3,300 gold. That's not all profit, of course. But if we go back to our sheet, you are seeing the 40 gold profit, which will be reduced to 39 because I'm just selling everything 1 gold cheaper just to ensure it sells quickly. Bear in mind, if you are going to sell something like simple Arrejas, if you saw those also had a fairly decent margin on them, it is extremely important that you sell at whatever price it may be. So selling below 9 gold will typically mean that you'll be taking a loss on them. But bear in mind that if you are going to be selling these, say if you were to try to sell them at 10 gold, this 93,000 would take very close to 3 days in order to fully clear. And the majority of the cost when it comes to infusions is going to be in the actual raw gold itself that is being held for the craft. You'll see the 188 gold. So that's going to be nearly 2,000, or again, 1,880 gold. And this is with some cost decreases. So without these, you would be looking at 2,000 gold per click, or for a set of 10, which if it's taking 3 days to sell and you're cycling these 4 or 5 times a day, you're going to end up with a big backlog of anywhere from like 60 to 70,000 Arrejas that you have stuck on the market. So if you do not have a lot of gold income in order to kind of float crafting Arrejas, then I highly recommend you craft things that are much less expensive and just flip them faster, so you are using your money to make more money and then constantly turning it into more money for yourself rather than using Arrejas. Also important to keep in mind if you are going to be crafting, if you're trying to maximize your revenue, is you want to be using structures and outfits in order to lower your total crafting cost, as well as increase your chance of getting a great success, because that doubles the total items that you end up crafting for that great success itself. In my case, I am using the Guardian Lewin statue, which comes from 90% rapport in Annika. And I'm using the bar table, which comes from a reputation quest on the Cradle of the Sea Fermata island. And then for outfits, these ones do cost blue crystals. These ones are up to you if you want to end up using them versus whatever you get by default. The ones by default aren't too bad, but if you do end up wanting to buy some of the other ones, you can get things to be a little bit better even. In my case, I bought the maid outfit for Nineveh, and I am using the Vern Ball outfit for Pela. For both of these, you do have to have the rapport maxed out in order to buy their outfits. But these will also, again, give you some decent excess on your crafting in order to maximize how much you're making per craft. So make sure you're checking this out. I will go ahead and I will post a spreadsheet down below as well if you don't want to use Pocket Arc. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. This is not a sponsorship. This is just one utility that I came across myself. But I will provide a spreadsheet, a rough one that I had made myself, where you just have to manually adjust the prices of the materials. And I was using that to determine what was the best thing to craft before I found this other resource that uses Lost Ark Market online in order to auto-generate the prices, so it saves me a lot of time. So if you have any other questions, comment down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And other than that, stay safe out there, and good luck on your hones.